have to gay, bye, gay. Woo! Hello, friends and family.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, how are we doing?
I think it's Canada Day when this is going up. Maybe hold on, let me look at the calendar. Is it Canada Day?
It's the day after Canada Day.
No, it's the day after Canada Day. But boy, oh boy, do we have a treat for you anyway.
We have a special surprise.
Oh yes. We have a very special surprise. So obviously our schedule has changed. I think that kind of goes without saying. With Aaliyah going to school and everything else, we are going to be dropping back drastically, especially I am training one of my students for the World Championship of Performing Arts in Las Vegas, which is a global competition. So I'm going to be insanely busy. You are going to be insanely busy with school. So we are going to be dropping down to just one episode a week. I am so sorry, but life.
On Fridays.
But as I said, man, oh man, Aaliyah found something very special for you guys because, you know, it's just after Canada Day when you guys are hearing this. It's almost 4th of July when you guys are hearing this. So we had to find a way to combine these two holidays together.
Of course.
And I mean, as you guys know, I can't stand politics, so what better way to get back at them than to read erotic fiction about the leaders of both of these countries?
Well, former leader.
Former leader in one case.
But yes, we are reading more Wattpad again. Don't we love it?
God.
So this is called Trudeau x Trump, Engulfed in a World of Orange.
I have no words. I mean, the last time we did anything about Trudeau was my kidnapper, Justin Trudeau.
Yeah.
If you have not heard that story, you need to go and check it out.
It is phenomenal.
It is one of the best
phenomenal
things. I still remember the author. Like, this never happens.
Yeah.
A B movie?
Yeah.
If you're out there, I love you.
Contact us.
Contact me. I will become your new bodyguard. I will lay my life on the line for you. I would take a bullet for you. A B movie.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Best thing of my life. I still laugh.
Nothing will ever
Although
top
I
that.
did tell you just the other day.
Yeah.
Just talking about reading and reactions. The other day, I was out on a walk, and I actually thought about one of the moments from way back when we read Hello, Darling by Amberlynn Reed.
Yeah.
And I started laughing about it. It was the whole stupid... If you remember, there was one point where Amber described the cruise ship as taking off, and I started laughing really hard because I imagined it like a plane instead of a cruise ship. And you looked at me dead ass in the eyes in my mom's basement where we were recording at the time because of COVID. You looked at me and said, "Just kidding, guys. Hello, Darling isn't a cruise ship. It's a spaceship." And I started laughing again in the middle of fucking nowhere. If anyone had been around, they would have thought I was insane. Like, I'm crying because I'm laughing about it.
God, those are amazing.
So if you have not listened to those, you need to go and listen to them. But let's just get started. I need to know what this is about.
I'm going to read chapter 1.
Oh.
Okay.
It doesn't even have a title. It's just chapter 1.
Chapter 1.
Here we go.
Okay. There is no time for resolutions for the long term right now, Mr. President. We have to act now if we are to counter the threat of climate change worldwide, a stern, young voice exclaimed. It was a cold, windy December in Prague, and the leaders of the free world were congregating to save or try to save the world from the threat of climate change. Shut the fuck up, you Canadian slut for boys. I bet you can't even apply your spray tan in the morning, cunt. We can't pass these resolutions without massively rolling back on production in developing nations, exclaimed a 71-year-old walking Cheeto in front of a gathering of about 50 leaders from other powerful countries.
Oh my God.
Immediately, the leaders of the world were ordered to their seats after these outrageous comments by the American president. The entire parliamentary building of the Czech Republic was in complete silence. Everybody knew that the American delegation meant business, and they were prepared to get what they wanted at any cost, and weren't at all afraid of embarrassing themselves on the world stage. So long as one man got what he wanted. Hell, embarrassing his country wasn't something he hadn't done previously.
True.
The Secretary General of the United Nations quickly trotted over to the podium, reminding the leaders of the world that this was no place for hateful comments such as the one that the American president had just made. Rather, this was a place for constructive criticism. a place for exactly the opposite of what Donald J. Trump had just said.
What's his middle name? Justin?
I don't know. John?
No,
Joseph?
Justin is Trudeau.
Yeah. I'll Google it. Wait. The young Canadian was completely infuriated with it all. He couldn't take it anymore, and after the congregation recessed for the rest of the day, he decided to have a meeting with the American president behind closed doors, out of the light of the media.
Oh, no.
He prepared to go to extreme measures to get these resolutions passed, and he would stop at almost nothing to get this done.
Oh, no. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going, my dude. Any other spicy story that we've read has turned out to actually not be spicy, like, whatsoever.
This one.
I'm afraid that this is the one. Is it the one?
I think you need to read the second chapter,
no.
miss.
Oh, dear. Oh, golly, Aaliyah.
Oh, golly.
Oh, golly. The ace in me is quivering in fear.
Here, wait. I want to Google what Donald's name is.
Donald J. Trump. Yeah, because Justin. No, that's Trudeau's name.
Donald Trump.
What's his middle name? It's
John.
Oh,
that's boring.
It's kind of white.
No, he's orange.
I was gonna say he's orange, so I don't know what the duh was for.
He's Cheeto Man.
He's Cheeto Man. Okay, chapter 2. Oh no. All right, here we go. What the fuck do you think you're doing, you bitch? You've had more outbursts than you've had wives or rape allegations against you. This is the one that strikes the biggest nerve with me. I'm not going to let you embarrass me and the rest of Canada like this. Oh, honey, that's no. We're already embarrassed. You're going to retract your fucking remarks this fucking instant, you good-for-nothing American. You are quite literally the reason that the developed world hates your third world nation. Justin, I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Wow. Daddy Trudeau's coming in hot.
Oh, he is coming.
Oh no.
He's coming in mad.
What? What do you mean you're sorry? You just embarrassed my country in front of the entire world. How can I guarantee that I'll have a damn job when I fly home? You really shouldn't. You shouldn't. Justin, I'm trying to reassert my country's position on the world stage. You don't know the amount of pressure that I'm under. I'm constantly being told to actually deliver on my campaign promises of making America great again, if it ever once was, truth be told.
Oh my God.
Ouch. But I can't seem to find a way to do such a thing through normal dialogue. And I need outbursts like these to reassert my power in the room.
He's 6.
Yeah? Do you know what I mean? I could give less of a shit about these treaties and agreements. This congregation and conference, to me, is all about America reassertation of power to the rest of the world, and to show the world that we're not someone that you can just fuck around with. How can I make it up to you? Oh no. Trudeau was absolutely dazzled by these remarks. Engulfed with hatred, he was tempted to strike back with amounts of aggression that would effectively revoke his Canadian status. True, if you get too violent up here, you lose your Slurpee privileges.
Oh my God.
That's what happens. 7-Eleven kicks you out.
We take away your igloo.
We take away your igloo. Take away your free polar bear.
Yeah.
To school. No more Slurpees for you.
No.
Nope. Going so far as to think about using racial slurs at a man who he thought resembled more of a Dorito chip than a human, but he refused. Going back to his memorably calm roots, he gave the American a death stare of sorts and vowed to return to this issue later on, either today or tomorrow, whichever one worked for him. He knew that he owned this man from the very moment, and he was going to make the absolute most of it.
Ugh, he owned him.
No.
I want everyone to know that engulfed in the almost sentence, engulfed with hatred is bolded.
It's bolded. It's engulfed. Engulfed in hatred.
Oh, Lordy, there's a fire.
Yeah, I don't want to know what kind of fire this is.
Oh, that's a word I can't pronounce anyways. All right.
Oh, dear. I don't know that I can pronounce that one. People are going to get mad at us for mispronouncing things.
That's okay.
Oh, no.
We don't know how to say words. I don't even know how to say regular words half the time.
This is true.
Okay. Chapter 3.
Love the title. Great title. Hell of a title.
Going back to his hotel on the outskirts of Prague, near Holubitin.
That's worse. I feel like it'd be Holbetin.
Louboutin. The young Canadian conjured up wicked ideas to do with the American scum that he had just made his own.
Yes, I too like to think naughty things about scum.
About American scum. Oh my lord. Okay.
Why'd you say it like that? Why'd you say it like that?
Because it needs to be posher. I don't know. Did he want to embarrass the American in the same way that he embarrassed Canada by focusing on his weak, illiterate population?
Hey, we're not the problem here.
Did he want to focus on the toxic American foreign policy that had created multiple border conflicts in the Mediterranean and the Middle East? Did he want to talk about the intentional American devaluation of the dollar, which had plunged world markets into worlds of absolute unnecessarity?
No, that's uncertainty, my dude.
Unnecessarity?
That's not a word. That's not a word, and that's not what was written there.
Absolute uncertainty, which was far worse than the crises that plagued the year 2008?
Are you okay?
No. And no, thought Trudeau. These solutions were all too practical.
Practical.
It was time for the Canadian...
Are you okay?
I'm short circusing.
I'm not the Canadian. Did you forget your false teeth at home? What is this?
No, I forgot my false brain.
Did you bring your real one? Because it doesn't sound like it.
My brain's just gums. Okay.
Instead of jaws,
I can
it's
do
just
it.
gums. You know, like the shark? It's gums.
I can
Gums
do it.
unleashed.
It was time for the Canadian to step out of his shell and to make his mark on the world stage. For far too long, Trudeau had been a champion of the positive politics program.
Sounds like something he would actually do.
Probably. And despite these programs working tremendously well, it was time to go against his core values. His father had been a champion of peaceful, quiet dialogue that moved Canada in the right direction. And despite his heart of gold wanting to continue the legacy of the esteemed Pierre Trudeau, known worldwide in his day as being one of the best politicians in the world, his gut said no. It had to be done. Trudeau somehow had to fabricate a sex scandal against Donald Trump.
This is the option you go with?
There was no way that this plan could fail. Trudeau had amazingly high approval ratings in Canada, and the rest of the heads of state at the congregation seemed to love him, taking his side against the filthy American on most progressive issues.
My dude, he's way older than 50.
Yeah. The Cheeto, on the other hand, was thought of in effectively the exact opposite manner. His approval ratings were below 10% in his home nation, and the rest of the leaders of the free world had a sheer distaste for him. It was going to happen, no matter what Trudeau had to do to make it happen. The young Canadian, a champion of LGBTQ rights across the world, was going to, quite literally, take down the American presidency through a cohesive act of intercourse that the entire world was going to see.
You know, the thing about this is that I'm sure that Trudeau thinks that people love him, but I think the real thing is that everyone else just literally hates Trump so much that anything looks good in comparison.
They're gonna have sex.
Nah.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break because I need a moment to wrap my head around what I'm about to have to read. I'm a little bit afraid.
You should be.
Oh dear.
Is there a pee-pee somewhere?
You'll have to wait to find out.
Hello, we're back and we're fantasizing about Donald Trump and Justin Trudeau.
Donald
Trump?
Number one, I'm definitely not fantasizing. That's like the opposite of what I'm doing. Number two, Donald? I know we established that his middle name was John, but Donald?
Politicians just, they touch weens sometimes.
Well, as I said to you, I feel like you were like, oh, they should tie them together because we were talking about them having a sword fight or like a lightsaber fight. And then I said, no, you just stick one end each in like a Chinese finger trap and then you have to push them closer together in order to get them out.
Oh, God.
I feel like that would not be pleasant.
Do you know what docking is?
Yes! I'm not dumb just because I'm an ace.
I wish you didn't.
I wish I didn't.
Okay. It's your turn, and it's chapter 4.
I don't want it to be my turn. Okay. Oh, no. If I throw up, it's not my fault.
Please don't.
Chapter 4. That night, Trudeau didn't bother changing into his pajamas, thinking of what he was going to take down. What? Thinking that if he was going to take down the world's most powerful man, that he had to look good while doing it. Eloquently arranging the items in his hotel bedroom, he made sure that no matter where the Cheeto put his spray-tanned ass, it would look good before he did. Ugh. It was thought that all of the hotel rooms in the presidential district weren't bugged in order to prevent scandals such as this, but Trudeau ensured that it was quite the opposite. He discreetly placed small cameras in every possible corner, ensuring that there was no place that may not have been under the watchful eye of the world media in a few days. He ordered his personal aide up to his room, the young foreign ministry intern completely unknowing of what diplomatic repercussions the orders he was about to receive would create. Damien, get the American president up here immediately. I have to hold a series of talks that may change the world forever as we know it, stated the Prime Minister, sure not to put any sort of emphasis on the word talks. The young man from Halifax had no idea what was going on, but he blindly followed the orders of one of the world's most loved men, refusing to question the authority that had continually given him pay raises for effectively doing nothing. Wow, the truth here. Scuttling down the hallway to the communications room, Damien exclaimed that the Prime Minister wanted the American president to his hotel room ASAP. Even though the president was just a few blocks away, it was unusual for the communications team to make such calls at this relatively late hour. It was nearing 7 p.m. in Prague, yet it was only 1 p.m. in Ottawa. Trudeau wasn't feeling any sort of jet lag, and he was sure that the communications team was able to realize that, given the relatively close proximity of Washington and Ottawa time zone-wise, there would be no reason for any sort of patronization with their message, as he assumed that the Americans would just not be as tired as he was. Would be just as not tired. Okay.
Just as not tired.
Maybe I'm tired, because I can't read that. They knew that the Americans were vastly less intelligent, yes, but Trudeau didn't think that there would be any sort of reason for the vastly superior Canadians to use any language that was lower than a 6th grade reading level. He was sure that at least the average American could understand English to that sort of level.
Oh.
I don't know that you can, though.
I read at a steady.
Grade 3?
I don't even know what grades are at this point.
You know, back when I was in school, we used to have, like, these little letters on each of the books that says, like, how hard it was. I feel like you're still in category B. The dog is black. The girl runs fast. I'm not wrong.
I should write those books, but completely inappropriate.
Honestly, I'm sure someone has done it, and if someone has done it, please send it to me. I would love to read it.
We'd love to.
Except it wasn't to be that way. The Canadian team, not realizing their mistakes, had sent out a message which was effectively filled with words that didn't deserve to be in a 3rd grade reading classroom. Not realizing their mistakes, nothing had really happened for a few minutes after the message was sent. The Canadians assumed that they hadn't done anything wrong. However, given that this message was being sent to a president who, during his election campaign, had continually insisted that he had the best words, the biggest words, this struck quite a nerve with the Americans. When the orange was alerted of this message in the middle of his jacking off session, he was initially assuming that the Canadians were inviting him to a nice dinner of sorts as a way of hoping to bridge the gap between their differences. After reading it, though, the usage of words that was most definitely patronized Americans all across the world infuriated the failed businessman. Smelling like cum. Jerking off socks were outlawed in the United States due to the fact that you had to pay sock makers. And reeking of alcohol, the Donald ordered his motorcade to proceed to the Canadian hotel. It was all about to head to shit. Or was it?
Can I just say I love the way the author refers to him as the orange.
The orange. That got me too.
The orange.
Just the orange.
The best words. The biggest words.
The biggest words.
Okay.
Good thing there was nothing too terrible in that one.
No.
You, I'm hoping, will get the brunt of this because
Maybe.
I might be gagging.
Maybe.
Okay.
This is Chapter 5. In a drunken Twitter frenzy, the Donald laid out tweet after tweet on how he was going to fuck the Canadian Prime Minister to bits. The world's media went into complete overdrive, and they were all reasonably correct. Linked this...
You okay?
Reasonably correctly linked this...
You got it. The girl runs fast.
Big words go bird. Fuck. Okay. They all reasonably correctly linked this to the Americans' outburst at the conference a few hours prior to this. As the world waited anxiously to try and come to a conclusion as to why this happened, they were all under the assumption that Trudeau and the Donald had resolved their differences peacefully. A leaked copy...
What was that?
I had a lot of spit in my mouth. I got a lot of spit.
Oh my god.
A lot of saliva.
Oh my god.
Upon reading the letter... A leaked copy of the letter that the Canadian communications team had sent to the Americans had emerged online. Upon reading the letter millions of times within 2 minutes, the world couldn't come to a conclusion as to why this incident had come about, or why this letter was relevant in any way. It was just a peacefully worded invitation. God damn.
Oh my God.
From the Canadian staffers to the American president, with no intentions to harm the president or any connotation of negativity of any sort of present. In fact, it was quite the opposite, as the Canadians explicitly stated that they wanted to fuck ameliorate, relations between the two countries after they were briefly shattered a few hours earlier. The rest of the world, though, also forgot about the fact that Donald wanted to make wording great again and failed to spot the third grade level wording that the Canadian staffers had used in their letter. As the Americans were coming down on the hotel.
At least they weren't going down on the hotel.
Yeah. God. Justin was completely oblivious to the mass police escorts that were clogging up the roads of Prague near the hotel. He was just sitting in his room, listening to music until he got the phone call from the secretary at the front desk, which he assumed he'd get shortly. However, the Americans embodied all of the negative stereotypes that the world commonly associates with them, being impatient, aggressiveness, rudeness, with flying colors. They stampeded past the secretary's desk without a care of sensitivity, destroying her phone and computer in the process.
What kind of stampede is this?
As the Americans began to effectively terrorize the hotel. There was nothing that the Prague police could do. They knew if they did anything, the American people would antagonize the living hell out of them for the rest of eternity.
Never forget.
And their accounts of the events would likely just be wiped off as false. With no phone call, Justin was completely alarmed by the rash knocking of his door. Despite usually being incredibly vigilant, he had absolutely no idea what was going on, nor who was on the other end of the threshold. It was Donald, who had preferred to leave his security detail on the bottom floor of the hotel, feeling that the Romanian, Polish, and Nigerian floors of the hotel that he had just climbed past wouldn't have any objection with one of their most powerful snack food products in the world on their floor.
Why did I just get an image when it says that he climbed past the floor of him, like, literally in a stairwell, like Spider-Man crawling his way up the floors?
Completely forgetting to check the peephole, Justin threw the door open, only to be met with the stare and disappointment and disapproval from the Donald. It was all about to fucking go down.
Oh no! There was nothing sexual in this.
Not that
no,
one.
That means the next one is gonna be mine. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Why?
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, read.
I don't want to. Oh. Okay, chapter 6. Looking the Donald in the eyes, Trudeau showed no signs of fear or emotion of any sort. He had completely stuck true to his father's instinct of never bowing down to anybody, no matter what their size or how much power they had. He had famously defied American cultural aggression during the Cold War, and despite Justin being a renounced Catholic, he knew that his father would be watching down from the heavens, proud of his defiance to the barbaric American cultural and economic practices that had plagued the world for years on end. With a relaxed expression, Trudeau made the first move of the occasion. "Hello, Mr. Trump," the Canadian Premier told the Cheeto. Premier? Prime Minister? It's not the Premier. That's not right.
Not a premier.
That's not right.
No.
"It's a pleasure to have you here on this fine night. Please, do come in." Why does he talk like I do? I don't like that. Knowing that something was awry, Trump stood at the threshold of the door, his eyes scanning what little of the room he could see from his viewpoint. "Why the fuck are you sending messages of a third-grade reading level to my communication staff? Bitch, you don't even have good words. I made words great again." The American was being hesitant. Trudeau knew that despite being a former boxer and being in pristine shape, there was no way he could physically force the Donald into the room, as he simply, I'm about to be very non-PC here, trigger warning in advance, was too large. Well, thinking quickly, Trudeau devised a brilliant way to get the Dorito into the room. "I've got some of your Twitter followers in this room held hostage, and their mouths are taped shut. They're all American. They're all white nationalist supremacists, and they all have, on more than one occasion, assaulted a peaceful woman at one of your rallies. To free them, all you have to do is come into this room." Given Trump's intelligence, or lack thereof, it was obvious that he'd enter the room in a complete frenzy, and while he was running in, it'd be easy for him to lose his balance. "Move out of the way, you Canadian beaver fucker! I'm saving my twit!"
Cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
You Canadian beaver fucker.
Canadian beaver fucker. I mean, sure.
Okay, we'll finish it off. This is chapter 7.
Oh, no.
When he awoke, Mr. Trump was in some sort of sexual contraption that had his arms and legs tied to a wall. It was literally bondage of some sort. 50 Shades nearly in nature. Covered in a black latex suit and his mouth gagged with an apple, he had no memory of what happened, nor did he have any idea of what was going to happen. His mumbled cries were overshadowed by the sounds of police sirens outside. The American delegates' bodyguards hadn't left yet, and they weren't going to leave until they knew whatever was going on in that room on the upper floor was terminated to the satisfaction of Emperor Trump's high standards. All the while that was going on, Trudeau, sporting his usual sports coat and dress shirt with nice tie, paced around the room, though by no means in nervous fashion. The young Canadian knew exactly what he was doing and how he was going to do it, leaving no caveats in his plan. It was all perfect to his standard. Reaching into the room's walk-in closet, Trudeau took quite a while to grab his apparati for the quest.
How did you say that?
Apparati?
Apparati. Apparatuses, basically.
Oh,
apparati. Why does that
apparati.
Why does that sound like some sort of like?
Sounds like a food.
It sounds like an animal you would find in Madagascar or something.
Oh, the
apparati.
wild apparati. Okay.
Apparati.
This was just purely to enhance his experience while on his voyage of amazingly fucked up proportions.
Yep.
Even Trudeau knew that it was incredibly fucked up and convoluted, but he honestly couldn't give less of a fuck. But despite this, he was still reasonably confident that his plan could go forward with relative ease. As the Donald tried to sputter a few words, Trudeau reappeared from out of the vast reaches of the closet, holding a flail in one hand,
it's like a stick, and it has like, you know, the metal spiky ball.
Oh,
that.
Oh God.
A medieval flail.
And a phallic device commonly using for reaching into the rectum of a male.
So a peg.
No, probably a speculum. Trudeau was starting to have second thoughts. Was this the right thing to do?
Now is not the time to think about this, sir.
Would his father want him to do this? Was this what he wanted to be remembered for? The world had stopped. Trudeau gave Trump a long, deep stare into his eyes and questioned everything that he had done in his life prior to that point. And it
Oh,
is
thank God it's over.
to be continued.
And it hasn't been continued since 2016. Thank God, once again, I avoided another spicy story that was meant to be spicy. I have gotten so lucky with these.
You have.
I've
You
gotten
really have.
so lucky with these. Every spicy story that we've read
I
has turned out
know.
not to be that bad.
God.
This is probably the closest we've gotten.
Yeah.
But thank God I dodged the bullet once again. I am in the clear. I'm in the safe zone. You can't touch me.
I think that the world needs more of that, actually.
Nope, I do not.
I need to know what happens next. Does
I
he
do
go
not want
through
to
with
know
it?
what happens next.
Does he reach in there? Does he reach in there?
Honestly, he probably just turned off the cameras and then did it for fun.
True. Trudeau.
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 Let us know if you have any supposedly spicy stories.
Yeah.
They don't have to be about the president. Please don't make them about the president. The ex-president. Don't make them about the current president either, please. I do not need to see any Biden anything.
I believe there is a Donald Trump ex-Biden one.
God
somewhere.
damn it. How did you guys get there this fast? Do you guys have nothing better to do? Who's writing these?
We love fanfics.
Love is a strong word
I
for the
don't-
emotions I'm feeling.
I don't know. Probably born teenagers. I would do this.
Definitely, but you would do this. You're not even really a teenager
I know.
anymore, and you'd still do it.
I would do it.
You would do it even if you weren't bored.
I wouldn't do men though.
I know you won't do men. You're a lesbian.
I know.
That's
God.
it for this episode. Thank you so much for
for
listening. Make sure to check us out on all of our social media. Make sure to share if you think it's worth sharing. Make sure to spread it around. We are enjoying growing this little community garden of ours.
Community.
Of our little LGBT flowers.
Check out our vlogs. They
Ooh,
go
yeah.
live on Saturdays.
Saturdays.
Okay, we love you guys, and we hope that you will take it gay by gay, guys.
Bye.